Hi, I'm Mac. The Student Wellness Center and the Folks in Athletics and Recreation asked me to tell you about my first year experience at McMaster and to share some of the things that I learned along the way. I came to McMaster last September and had really no idea what to expect. The campus was a maze of unfamiliar buildings. I was nervous. This was the first time I would truly be independent, and I wasn't too sure I would be able to balance all my new responsibilities. Looking back, I think I did a pretty good job at this. In my first year, I made some amazing new friends, and I was able to stay well connected with the people I care about back home. I did my best to stay on top of all my schoolwork, and I didn't even feel burnt out because I learned to ask for help when I needed it. I even stayed pretty healthy. Overall, I had an awesome year, and I've learned a lot about myself too. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't always easy, but I got better and better as the year went on. I realized that in order to do well academically, I needed to focus on my schoolwork, activity level, social life, fuel and hydration, and sleep in order to find the most balance. Here's what I've learned. I hope these tips will help you during your first year experience. First off, take a break. Sometimes I used to find myself studying for very long periods of time. Remember to give yourself permission to take a break. Studies show that students who take periodic breaks learn and retain information more readily over the long term. For some of you, you may need to take a break after 30 minutes. For others, an hour. Find what works best for you. On a break, you can eat, walk, nap, chat with a friend, or listen to music. You may want to consider practicing meditation or connect personally with your own faith-based or spiritual practice. Be sure to check out our new Mindfulness Center that just opened up in the David Braley Athletic Center. Also on campus, there are many other spiritual resources. Connect with the Chaplaincy Center or join one of McMaster's many faith-based student groups. As long as you change up the routine and move away from your notes, computer, or textbook, it's a break. And watching several episodes or a full season of a show online doesn't really classify as a break. Another important thing I learned this year was that exercise does not have to be complicated. Sometimes I would take a long hike through Coots Paradise or bike along the rail trail with a friend. There are also countless options right here at the David Braley Athletic Center. Whether you prefer to swim, dance, play intramurals, squash, practice yoga, Pilates, or martial arts, there's something here for you. The Pulse Fitness Center is McMaster's gym. Consider buying a membership if you're interested in training with cardio and weight equipment, attending spin and fitness classes, rock climbing, or hiring a personal trainer. We even have the David Braley Sport Medicine and Rehabilitation Center, should you need any sports injury rehabilitation or care. Remember, you don't need to spend countless hours exercising. Set smart goals, make a routine, and stick to it. Now, this was a lesson I learned the hard way when a few of my friends told me that I seemed to disappear after the first few weeks of university. From this, I learned that it's important to make time to stay connected. Check in on friends and classmates. Make plans to go for a walk or cook a meal together. Also, meet new people by joining a club or activity you are interested in. I also learned it was important to make an effort to connect with family and friends back home. Find a balance between social time and time for yourself in order to recharge. Fuel up. In September, it was the first time I was responsible for making all of my meal choices. Knowing what to eat and drink can get mighty confusing, but forget about counting calories. Instead, start questioning what you are consuming and whether it's adequately fueling your body. Start by adding more veggies, nuts, seeds, fruits, and nutritious protein options like grass-fed beef, free-range poultry, beans, and quinoa to your plates. In general, choose foods with fiber and protein, and try to avoid all foods that are heavily processed. And did you realize that every day you lose water not only when you use the washroom, but also when you sweat and with every breath you take? For your body to function properly, you must replenish its water supply by consuming foods and drink that contain water. There is no single formula that fits everyone. Knowing more about your body's needs for fluids will help you estimate how much water to consume each day. So, take the time to think about your daily water consumption and remember to stay hydrated. And last but not least, my final advice is on sleep. Try to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. Although some people claim to get by on just a few hours sleep, it is important to block out sufficient time to get the sleep your body needs. I hear there's some great tips in September's Wellness at Mac newsletter about getting back into the routine of waking up early after those great summer sleep-ins. You'll definitely want to check it out. It's important to realize that sleep can help strengthen your immune system, revive brain cells, and reduce fatigue and stress. And trust me, these are all things you will want when your calendar fills up with midterms, assignments, and exams. So remember, give yourself permission to take a break, stay active, be social, fuel and hydrate your body effectively, and get some sleep. There were a few times when my friends and I felt overwhelmed with all the transitions of first year. During those times, we were glad to have many different avenues of support available. If you are ever needing some help to manage your first year, be sure to check out some of these services. At the Student Wellness Center, you can book an appointment with a doctor or a counselor, or drop into the Student Wellness Education Lower Lounge, the Swell, to attend a wellness program or speak with a wellness educator. At the Student Success Center, you can find services in the areas of career and employment, transition and academic success, community service learning, civic engagement, and leadership. The International Students Office is available to help assist in the transition to McMaster for international students and students on exchange. Student accessibility services can assist you in receiving academic accommodations and developing a learning strategy that is tailored to your abilities. And both Residence Life Staff in Housing and Conference Services and the Off-Campus Housing Resource Center are useful when you are trying to ease into your new living situation. Well, I know this was quite a bit of information. Thanks for staying with me. I hope I've given you several helpful tips to have an enjoyable and successful first year. I wish you all the best. See you in September!